Rourke's forces found the sanctuary, came through the monks like weather, and carried the boy away, and the man who had finally gotten his miracle could only stand in the wreckage and watch, ordinary at the exact moment it cost the most. Rourke carried his son to an old gathering place and summoned his faithful, because pouring a devil into a new body is not theft, it is a ceremony, the one Danny had been bred for from the start. It was the one mistake available to him, because a rite that old can only be held in a place that old, and Moreau's order had spent centuries knowing exactly where that was. The monk led Johnny straight to it. None of this was Johnny's fight anymore. The job was done, the curse was gone, and every step away from that place was a free man's right. But his freedom had been minted in the same hour the boy was taken, on his watch, and keeping it at that price would have left the curse gone and the man still damned. So he drove into the heart of the ceremony with no fire, no spirit, and no chance. The fight nearly ended him, and it was Danny who turned it, because the same power his father had bred into him for the taking could also be given. The boy reached out and offered Johnny the curse back, and Johnny, who had spent 8 years begging every god and monster he could find to take the rider out of him, stood there with his freedom finally in his hands and handed it back, because this time the curse would stand between a child and his own father. That yes cost him everything he had ever wanted. He paid it without blinking. The rider rose and tore the ceremony apart, and Rourke ran, dragging Danny down the highway with what was left of his men. The chase burned up everything it touched, and when the wreck finally stopped rolling, the boy did not get up. Johnny hauled Rourke out of the ruin and drove him down into the ground he came from, and it should have been a victory that tasted like ash, a monster traded for a child. Except the curse was not the same curse anymore. A burden taken up out of love changes its nature, and when the fire rose this time, it rose blue, the color it wore before the devil ever touched it, the angel remembering its light. Johnny knelt over the boy and poured that clean fire into him, and Danny opened his eyes. The power that had spent lifetimes punishing the guilty gave one life back. Johnny Blaze rode away from that road, still carrying the spirit, no longer its prisoner, but its partner. The devil had built himself a weapon out of a stolen angel, and now the weapon knew what it was, and it was pointed back at its maker for good.